The thing that's really hurting here is his lack of extra shields. Ooh, and a great shot onto Haft, and he's immediately going to sprint over to that and see what can I get from it with only his Gray Tack, the common AR, and then the heavy snipe. So he was definitely hurting, needed the refresh, and leading on the heavy sniper to make it happen.
That was a beautiful shot straight down the line. That was really, really well played. I was going to say Commandment someone I've watched a fair bit as he regularly plays in our cash cups with EMAD, and I find that quite respectable, playing on such a high ping deficit and then having to rely more on that smart play than having to rely just pick up that elimination. We see Zate, someone who plays a lot of competitive Fortnite, struggling a little bit today. Again, only been a game and a half, 1 point on the board. We saw him go down to Unknown Army last time and maybe changed his rotation path. His Unknown Army went down early, but maybe Zate just avoiding that completely as Arab picks up another elimination in the feed, taking down Starving Aiden. So that's 2 eliminations for him, and Zum caught sleeping, gets the very nice open tag, and then Zum places the walls but doesn't place them close enough, and Zate just gets a freebie.
Zum, hello? Are you there?
Hello?
You're in the FMCS Grand Finals. You need to put a roof above your head, man. Zate taking advantage of that, catching him off guard. I mean, we kind of talk about it, how you need to manufacture those opportunities. That one seemed a little free. I think Zum actually might have been doing a little bit of inventory management there and then kind of got caught out. It looked like he had just looted something. So, if anything, that's just super, super, super unfortunate timing. But it looks like Zate is opting for a little bit more of a safer rotation, completely avoiding the warpath that Unknown Army was on last game. However, we saw him get ended right away by Tilt this game, so it's not going to be a factor here as Bully is in your box.
Yeah, he's trying to get in your box. So far, there's only one wall holding him out from being in your box. He's now in your box, but you've gotten out of it, so Bully trying to find his way through this one. It won't take him long to get in the box, and there it is. Takes him a couple of seconds. Really nice play. Harpoons the floor to instantly break it. Walks up to it by crouching under it, but then stands up, which means that when the other player tried to place the floor, he's phased through and he gets a free tack shot, and that's all he needed. Really, really well played by Bully to get in your box there.
Showing some good level aggression right there. Executing on the box fight and making sure he was able to close the fight out before taking too much damage. As we now get a pan over, you see Sway, Weigel, 2XC. Ghoul, Furious, Polarized, Perplexity, Bully over on the side, Jelty, Doxy, Fishy, Coop, Shaz, Vanish Banked, Vexy, Wiggs, Johi, tons and tons of NAE's players we've seen before. 66 players still remaining as we head into the 4th Storm Circle. We have 1:15 minutes before that rotation will start. I would expect to see a large number of players go down on this rotation. Storm Surge will start to get threatened kind of towards the backside. We do see Sway with that drum gun. No additional aggression since the early game, which was out of character from what we saw in the other rounds. And what we really want to see from this player is we don't want to see kind of what happened with King at the World Cup, where you look really, really, really good in the early and the mid game, and you're able to kind of get these flashy plays and grind it out. Like, yes, that's good, but that's not a complete Fortnite player. You need to be able to get into the placement points. You need to be able to get into the end game and kind of be able to take advantage of your slaying capability in those opportunities. That's what really enables you to be kind of really great and truly competitive. But Sway now just trying to get aggressive and get into one of these old boxes. Now turning around, using the drum gun, putting as much pressure on this opponent as I can. His opponent
tu sais pas du tout. Moi là, faudrait travailler. Mais tu sais pas du tout vers où il était quand il.
Essentially winning in every circumstance. Take every advantage you have. As Furious now, again, trying to fly against it. And this
is not the person I'm rotating behind trying to use his builds. That is definitely someone that I want to avoid. Like you said, if you know unknowns in your lobby, you avoid that POI. So similar thing happening here, but Retail Row, an interesting zone to see it finish. This is going to play in the hands of people like Scoped, who obviously dropping Grotto, like Colazo, who was top 5 last game. He's been dropping Retail Row since the start of Fortnite. It's been his competitive drop in every game mode and every tournament since competitive Fortnite started. So he's obviously still going to be over here somewhere, having a really good early game to be able to rotate into this one a little bit closer. But when you talked about Storm Surge, sometimes getting zone is not always the best thing because everyone's still making their way towards you. It's a lot harder to find those Storm Surge tags that are going to be so crucial. But now we see plenty of people banked up on this edge as Avery goes down. It's going to be an interesting endgame. If this goes further east, it's going to cause a lot of problems.
Those problems mainly being the change in verticality in that mountain that's hanging out right there, and everyone is posted up on it as that fourth zone does now finally resolve. We see Bizzle still in the match. Shaz got taken out last time, hanging on to Meowscow's PRPR rifle. The 44 and 88 tags from the headshot that come through when that thing is at its closest distance really hurt and are able to kind of rocket you up, particularly in the to gain control over. Oh, he has a nice little supply cache there.
Yeah, nice. He needed those minis too. You talked about not wanting to have to rely on white meds towards the end of the game. Floppers, bandage cannon included. You want to have some shields as well, because now for tags like this, the white med's not enough to heal you up, but you don't want to be running around 130. I'm assuming he's seen it, right? Maybe he's just waiting for Zone to pull a little bit more to make sure he doesn't take any tags to get it. I think maybe run out there, grab it, and just use the bandage cannon to secure it. But Bizzle getting some heavy pressure on him as we see SF Roller on the back foot as well. 100 health, no shields. He might be looking for an impact, and he is right now. This would probably be your definition of shambles. Has 56 builds, has a loadout to get an elimination, but not the health. But we've seen how good SF Roller can play when he's aggressively pushing forward and finding those eliminations. So if he can try and find his way into the box or maybe find someone rotating past, he could get that refresh, and that's what's going to make or break those. Really the greatest position, but it's still not over for him here.
Yeah, talk as much trash on the dude as you want. Every single time he's pushing into a box, I at least see him reverse editing the cone so he can't get immediately flown on. So I'll give him props to that. That's more than 95% of competitive players. As Stowe, with a absolutely brilliant cone on top of Rogue Shark, edits him down and drops him into the storm, picks up the floppers for it as well, but now he kind of needs to haul a little bit as he's on the edge of the storm. Does have the flopper to kind of save himself and give him a little bit more wiggle room to work with as the zone does settle. And honestly, manufacturing a your worst fear has come true.
Yeah, it's gone straight across that mountain now. This is going to be a very hard zone for players on low mats like that. We see Kalazu looking around again, someone who dropped a knee here, so maybe has a decent amount of mats. Same with Scoped up there. Illist in a really good spot, has Sizzlucky directly above him. So these players are looking really good. They have that advantage. They're already at the vertical limit for that mountain, so they can just tarp straight across. These players I'm seeing down the bottom, like Zucky, like Knight, like Elige, Mega, they're going to need to make their rotate. Durant trying to put some pressure in the sky, and that he does. Click also in this game, picking up an elimination on Bank, and Durant gets straight in his box, so he gets 2 eliminations. Does he make it 3, or does he go down? No, he makes it 3. He picks up 3 eliminations. That one was on Neon, who was our leader after game 1. So Neon going too aggressive here and going down. And Durant, who is in 2nd place, now picks up 3 eliminations, one of them on first. So that is a huge turn for this tournament.
That was massive. Absolutely. Like, we've seen him get in positions and being able to capitalize on those launch pad rotations plenty of times before. But Neon just going straight gung-ho into the box. Durant being able to trade it out. Calc picking up an Elim there as we see Elige also going down, closing on the top 30 as we go down the backside of the mountain. Now the real question is, do we go back up the mountain? Because if so, all the people up here on the high ground are going to have the advantage as we hop on board here with the calculator himself trying to make plays, working from the top down as we do go back up the side of the mountain. So sorry to everyone on the low ground who just burned all of your utility. You drove the short straw. You can now burn everything to try and get back up as Calc eats 2 huge bullets from Polarize. He's going to go down there. Sway is going to pick up Plague, so made it into the end game. And as I say that, Vexy picks him down. Polarize now rotating around the front side of the zone. You see Krem's a little bit.
Jump on me.
Going to jump up quite high, and Kanata picks up another elimination with Scopes taking down Mega as we put but there's so many old builds that he can't find his way in, but he's just getting more and more placement points for free. He has 20 builds, 4 floppers, 6 minis. We called it last game. We almost jinxed it for Neon, but you'd have to think Illis is going to be able to close this one out as he takes down Scoped, a big shark in this lobby, and we haven't seen the grappler come into effect. I want to see if someone has that. Maybe Jelty, from what I just saw from that movement. Jelty might have that grappler to be able to take Illist high ground, but without that, this is going to be a very hard game to take from Illist.
Which he should just be able to work top down. I mean, this rotation going back and forth over the mountain is so absurdly frustrating if you're not able to control the same space as Jelty is able to pick up Coop, and particularly because it's gone kind of not necessarily on the same axis. It's just given the player who had the most materials, which effectively has been Illis, working the top down the advantage here, but now he's going to be forced to look back out in the storm. Does have the floppers to pick it up, but this zone is an absolute nightmare.
This is an absolute nightmare to find his way down here. Illis, 4 players alive. Someone dropping down in front of him, too. Harpoon comes out trying to break them down. Illis only has 1 build left. That's it. He drops down, goes all the way to the very bottom. Illis going down to 4 damage. The high ground ended up being his demise. He got a lot of points from it, but now Stowe has the high ground. Polarized, Assault having their fight down there. Assault goes down to Polarized. It's a 1v1 situation. Stowe has the rockets in hand. Can he make the play? He's trying to thread them down. He has 12 rockets in the legendary RPG. 25 builds, 3 eliminations. Can he make it 4 to close this one out? He gets knocked down. He goes down shotgun to shotgun in midair. He being the ultimate win condition, but Illis was just a little bit too high.
2 HP being the difference, and just look at that build going back and forth. That is so absurdly frustrating to deal with when you're in that end game. If you're up on the high ground, just desperately trying to recycle over whatever you can, use whatever your bats, but the back and forth, I mean, it's an adage old at time when it comes to competitive Fortnite, but Old Man Mountain will claim his tone, but particularly when it comes to the moving zones, he's able to claim it there. So many players going down, whether it'll fall damage, running out of materials, or just getting railed on from Illis and the other players from above. I mean, that was a heck of a finish there.
That's right, guys. Now we got to ask ourselves, where is Stowe on the leaderboard? Where did that end up bumping him all the way up to? And it looks like Neon from first is now in second with Durant contesting there. Stowe is put all the way up into 3rd place after just his 2nd game.
You can see how quickly it changes up here. So Neon was at 61 points going into that game, only picks up 7, but he's still in 2nd place. We have Polarized jumping up quite high. Illist, who had that high ground. Kanata jumping up into there as well. Calazo dropping down just a little bit as he was inside top 5. We have Coop flying his way up through the leaderboards as well. Scoped, who picked up 0 points game 1, is now 26 points in 17th place. So it just shows how quickly you can change up.
And I mean, honestly, the really impressive thing right now is Durant being able to climb all the way up to the leaderboard. You can see as we continue rolling over some super stacked names on that 21st to 30th page there with Eclipse, Knight, Unknown, Clicks, Sway, Saf, Tilt, Bully, all kind of just stacked on top of each other there. Very much so in contention, but again, on the outside looking in. However, only about 1 elimination kind of here to really separate them off. So again, we talk about this format and everyone being a little bit closer in terms of the skill disparity between 40th and 31st. If you are able to knock off 1 other player, you're jumping up 10 points. So we talk about just 1 decent game being enough to kind of rocket you up. Every single one of these players, including Acorn, Spicy, Hornet, all very much still within striking distance. And again, I know we've stressed it a number of times, with only 2 games down, we still have 10 more games of Fortnite to play. So we have a typical tournament of this Fortnite's worth of games to be played over the course. But again, with the set lobbies going through these games, I don't want to say they're infinitely more stressful, but man, it feels like it. There's a lot of pressure, and these guys are putting it all on the line right now.
That's right, Sundown. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on for those first 2 games. What's going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the FNCS Invitational. Joining us for the next 2 games, we got Monster Deface and Clay Staling. Gentlemen, we've watched a pretty interesting first 2 set of games. Looks like the new guard is giving the old guard quite a run for their money.
It's not what we expected, not at all. I mean, that first page, that top 10, but hey, it's the shakeup, right? Anything can happen. It was only the first 2. Everyone's kind of getting their gears going. You can't count out the pages of, you know, page 2, page 3, right? The top 30, top 40 players. Everyone's still very much in the running right now. As long as they can keep their composure, let's keep it swinging.
That's right. Well,
speaking of new guards, Colazo up there. Mr. 100, Mr. 20 right there scooting in, and now he's in that top 8. Ooh, looking good for him.
yo, what else is looking good is the fact that we're getting right in the game, boys. Take it away.
All right, thank you so very much, Zeke, for loading us up. But yeah, here it is, Clay. We're jumping in. It's game number 3 right now. It's the day 1 NA East Finals here for the Invitationals Solos competition. So look at our map right here, bro.
Yeah, we got Salty Springs uncontested as well. There's only 2 players there in Sweaty. It's actually going to pool to Sweaty Sand. This is going to be a very interesting zone there with the northwestern islands, my bad there. Oh, in play for zones, we all know how hectic that can be.
That's right, and I mean, we're jumping in with our first taste of some action here. It's Outcast Kel's going to land a couple nice burst shots right here, all finding their mark. No shield on this opponent right here, and he's going to get traded out. Some good tags, and I mean, it's looking like a close battle right there. He's going to get chipped with a low ground side shotgun shot as well, and all of a sudden, it's kind of fair game. I mean, that player has 10 HP. He only has about 60 up here on height. He's going to go and do a little reset. It's Nexi who's in a battle with right now. Looking for some angles. It's kind of scary this early taking a battle, right? With no shield. It can go ever which way between the 2 players right now. Last thing you want to do is kind of sit around and waste time right now. So we'll see who can end the battle quickly or draw out. Nexi is going to break the builds, and oh man, the good angle from Kel gets the advantage on that one, and Nexi gets sent back to the lobby.
That angle was so smart there from Kel to go out to give him that good top-down view as he started falling down. That was the last pieces to be broken. Very, very good play by Kel to get that elimination. He had set that up beautifully. As we move over to Tabs G here, who does only have 2 points in the day. Again, we're only into game number 3, so there's still a lot more room to improve here for him. He does have a player right in front of him, though. He could look to get this. We do see Agers going down, though, to Cog Innocence. That's a really big elimination.
Yep, Agers falling early in the competition right now, like you pointed out. Tabs G's got to do something soon, or his morale would continue to stay low. It's only 2 points so far in the competition. He's coming right across, past with the legend Bizzle himself, who also tends to have this rotate to himself, and little does he know the ambush was waiting, and Tabs sets up a big one. This is exactly what he needs, some momentum in his favor to find these elims, pick up those points. With that one single elimination alone, he effectively doubles his points coming into the late half of the game here, game 5. So well played for him. I mean, 2 points just shows that he only got player we're looking at, we're dealing with the confidence right now coming into the game. The jitters are out the way. Game 1 and 2 kind of, you know, wiped the dust off the shoes, and now they're coming in polished here. We'll see those. We jump back with Durant. Durant off to such a prominent start. The beginning stages here, 74 points. My gosh. I believe he rounded out at 10 eliminations total so far in the competition. So he's definitely looking to turn things up. Remember, this is a completely Western zone, so even his rotation right now, it looks like he's playing it a little safe to kind of guard his positioning, that he's sitting on the leaderboard here with a coastal rotate all the way around, taking his sweet time, enjoying the sun right now.
Definitely enjoying it. Again, 2 games underway, and he destroyed both of them. A 3rd place that first game with 4 eliminations, a 10th place with 6 eliminations in that second game. This is strides of what we saw Wolfies do over at NEU. That, you know, same sort of dominance. We'll see if he's going to be able to continue the domination here in the North American region. As we see Wiggs, he's going to get shot at, though. Does get out of it. Doesn't take any damage. He did have that big shield hitting through this already looted area. It's going to be very hard to find mats that he can recycle there. And you see, luckily, though, for him, it isn't the softer mat category. That brick in the wood, his metal is looking decent here.
Well, that's right. And I mean, remember, guys, if you're just tuning in, you're wondering, how do we get here to the FNCS Invitationals, the Grand Finals? This is the combination of 3 weeks of competition right now, as we're approaching that middle of the pack day one right now for the NA East region. Players have been going toe-to-toe, and I mean, for some who clawed their way out through the reboot round, the stakes are high, much higher than before, as they have to go on a stretch here of consistency, good games after good games right now. Wiggs, though, looking to line up the big shot right now, trying to see what he can find here. He's going to have this player kind of open out, and it's a moment of opportunity there. Oh my gosh, 2 shots are going to land, take the shield off. The 3 are going to hit the body now, and Elige falls in a second game back-to-back, as we get that perspective here of him falling, unfortunately for him. But it's all right. Wiggs is going to be able to quickly snatch up the loot. I mean, Clay, he's back to max now. Extra medium bullets to go with it as well. He's looking pretty good.
And he did exactly what he needs to. Find an impact frag on rotation. There's your mat. Went from about 70 mats there to 140. In a really good spot to continue on his game as we move over here to Neon. We saw dominate that game, number 1. You know, 68 points. Still good. He's still in that top echelon of players in the top 10. But the question is, can he maintain it moving forward? Can he keep that mentality up? He is second right now at the moment. You see, loadout looks great. No one is really near him to cause damage to him right away, but you do have to be concerned about that monster. With his 2 mini shields in his inventory, if he takes any sort of damage that's below that shield, it's going to look bad for him.
I mean, definitely is that prestigious minis that he's holding on to right now. He's going to have to play it real safe, real cautious, and I feel like that's what he's doing right now, is he's trying to get deep into the zone, trying to get to safety right here early. It's clear as day right now, though. There's only a few people kind of in his area, only a couple in his path, and the first one that opens up and lets his guard down is going to get tagged up here, and this is the fight he wants to have in his favor. The fact that he can swing this momentum, since he doesn't have much, he can kind of come up with a lot right now. It's only going to take 1 shot, and he's going to find it here on Nico, who falls now. And Nico was doing so well coming into the competition, though, to see him kind of go down like so easily is what it seems here to Neon. Neon's just playing out of his mind right now on a different kind of level here. And lucky for him, I mean, Neon's going to have this other opponent, this third party, back off as more people join into the fight right now.
And that's what he needed. He went from not having much to make it towards the end game to having a really good amount of shields in his inventory, having a lot of mats as well, is in a good spot in the zone as well. So Neon doing everything perfectly right now in a game where RNG is such a big factor. He's making it work, as you see 7 Leo there just going down. That was, you know, you can't get caught taking a mushroom out in the middle of the field there. You're just going to get eliminated.
Yeah, it's the kind of ambush special sitting behind that natural field right there, just kind of hanging out. Probably played the bush for the better half of the game before sneaking up to that tree right there. And Leo didn't even have any shield, so it's kind of a freebie, unfortunately, standing out in the open to pop that shroom. You know how it goes here. Can Stacky find another one, though? As he sees someone is on the water bend right there, kind of running through, and no, he's not going to pay any mind, any focus or attention towards him. Instead, he's going to continue to get his roll on here. As I say that, I do see Roller, Avery, and others still in the game. Zate, who we know lands here in Sweaty Sands, has all the real estate to himself. The zone favoring him right now. I think he's in a little bit of a battle. He gets... No, it's Walkman who's going to get hunted down here by Wolves, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a crucial elimination here as he clears out the main building and gets more control. Just Wood left now to kind of max out the inventory, and he'll be chilling.
He will be indeed. We do see a Nut there, Furious as well. Zate is the main point there in that garage area where he is at the low ground. Can he come back? Can he start to mount the run? As we speak of people that need to mount a run here today, is going to be Booga, only on 1 point today. His loadout looks very, very bleak. Luckily, he's got the 8 minis, but this is not looking good here for him. If he's going to get, you know, things going, he's going to need to find an impact frag, as he's getting tagged up by multiple different people there. Snipes are coming in. He's getting focused by everybody right now.
He doesn't have a lot in his inventory to fight back either. The limited ammunition right now is really going to be a kind of a crutch in the situation here. Sitting in wood, though, also means that he can be a target. Just 1 point so far in the competition makes you wonder what's not kind of going in his favor right now. The World Cup champion right here is struggling so far in the solos competition, but he is still very much in the running. He's going to find a big shot right here. What's he going to do with this momentum? As he's kind of saw there was a 70, a shield crack as well, so this is something that he can wrap out. But the focus is coming in towards him, not the opponent. That's just one of those kind of ways it goes, and yes, he's going to be able to go all the way through, pushes through, catches AV right here. Crucial point. Little dance for it right now. He's getting back into the focus right now, trying to jump back into the swing of things. Take a look at your players rotating, though, Clay. There's a lot of big names right here on this back half right now. Booga, obviously being the biggest of the bunch, but Roller, an exciting player. Acorn, another exciting player that we know has been performing so well. They're all in the storm right now.
And speaking of players that have performed so well, Durant went down to zone there. So not able to make it work and not able to make either the damage come off the Storm Surge or just getting caught out. As we talk about people that's right on the edge, the Roller eliminated there. As you see, Johi eliminated as well. A lot of people suddenly getting collapsed on. So big name there. Durant going down, I think, is the biggest name we saw go down.
Yeah, and I mean, just to talk about the action that was unfolding on the line, Roller falling, and Booga looked like he might have jumped right into the fray there, so pay close attention to that Elam feed as things are kind of happening here. They're all going to have to rotate north. Anyone who's on that southern part